You want to know what to say to a social justice retard to make them lose their mind? Kyle Rittenhouse did nothing wrong. Zang-a-lang and salutations, my lovely little lunatics. It's me, your friendly and psychopath Insanity, here with my co-host Bob.
Hello.
And today, on the ENSane Report, we got more news on what's going on in the Rittenhouse case.
Oh, poor Kyle. I cannot imagine being put in that situation.
Yeah, and especially afterwards. Even newspapers have had to come out and give, actual coverage of what's been going on, of what's gone on.
And still the leftist social justice retards are screeching and screaming and losing their minds.
They are, and we're going to get into that. But before we do, make sure to like and subscribe for more insane news. Also, follow us on Rumble,
Locals,
Minds,
and Bastion. Now, we gonna do a quick overview?
Yes, there's going to be a quick overview. Back in the time of mostly peaceful protests, you all remember that picture of a man standing in front of buildings on fire?
That was hilarious. Well, in Kenosha, a bunch of people decided they wanted to have a fiery protest. And Kyle, who goes to work there and also the gun he has, he didn't carry over state lines.
No, it was given to him by a friend who lives in that area. So Kyle, being the good person that he is, he wants to go defend the place where he works, the city that he knows. So, he ends up helping I remember he was also going around helping people.
Oh yeah, the thing that got them social justice retards really angry was when he put out a giant dumpster that they had lit on fire and were pushing towards a gas station.
Yeah, and it was just funny because if you hear what the prosecutors are trying to say, they're trying to claim that, oh, no, they weren't doing that. There were no riots. There weren't looters.
No, they were just horrible pedos and scum of the earth.
So yes, Kyle put it out. Of course, then people get angry, and then this is where everything starts. Everyone tries to claim he murdered them.
Yeah, well, they did try to attack him, and the one dude who lives said he regrets that he didn't kill Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
Also, one of the guys hit him with a skateboard, and one of the guys chasing after him, was that the pedo?
Yes, that was the pedophile. Anywho, we're just going to jump right into it. So here we go. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the flippity-floppity between normal people and, things going on with Rittenhouse, and things going on in other areas that the SJRs just don't seem to mind at all. Anyways, wham! From Fox News, Kyle Rittenhouse case. Prosecutors can't call the wounded men victims during upcoming trial, judge rules. Rittenhouse defense team can describe 3 wounded men as rioters, looters, or arsonists with exceptions.
Well, they were.
Yes, they were. Continuing on. A Wisconsin judge has laid out the final ground rules on what evidence will be allowed when Kyle Rittenhouse goes to trial next week for shooting 3 people, 2 fatally, during a protest
riot
last year, ruling that he will prohibit both sides from using certain words to describe the wounded and dead individuals, according to reports. Monday's hearing was likely the last before Rittenhouse heads to trial November 1st. For the shootings during destructive demonstration
riots
in Kenosha, August 25th, 2020, 2 days after the white police officer in that city shot a black man, Jacob Blake. So stupid. In the back while responding to a domestic disturbance. Oh! Was this the one I'm trying to remember?
I know the name. This was also one of those stupid things where literally it was he was resisting. He tried, if I remember correctly.
I'm trying to remember. We'll figure it out. Rittenhouse, 18, of Antioch, Illinois, was among a number of people who traveled to Wisconsin City that night. With the teen telling reporters on the ground that they were there in Kenosha to guard a business and to help if people got hurt. Rittenhouse is charged with homicide and other crimes in fatal shooting of Joseph Rosenberg, Anthony Huber, and wounding Gage, whatever the hell his name is, the guy who said he wished he had killed Rittenhouse. That was his only regret. On Monday, Judge Bruce Schroeder ruled that Rittenhouse's defense team is permitted to describe the 3 wounded and dead men as rioters, looters, and arsonists, which they are. the Associated Press reported. In doing so, he was denying a request from the Assistant District Attorney Thomas Binger and said those terms would be allowed if the defense can produce evidence showing that's what they were. Yeah, once again, the guy was like, but that goes against, that'll make them look bad. Well, they are bad people. Yeah, prosecutors, however, are not allowed to refer to the 3 wounded men as victims. They're not. The victim word is a loaded word, which it is. They attacked him. He defended himself. You're not the victim in that situation. Also in question was whether the defense team would be permitted to call a use of force expert John Black to testify that Rittenhouse acted in self-defense. Prosecutors had asked Schroeder to block Black's testimony, of course, because we can't have actual facts and actual experts on this.
Oh no, that would just destroy our narrative.
Continuing on, yeah. To testify that Rittenhouse acted in self-defense, prosecutors had asked Block to block Black's testimony, arguing that jurors don't need an expert to understand what happened that night.
Yeah, they know they're about to get their bums handed to them.
They are. Schroeder told attorneys that Black wouldn't be allowed to testify about what Rittenhouse was thinking when he pulled the trigger, or whether he definitively acted in self-defense. Aw. Binger said if Schroeder allowed Black to testify only about the timeline of events that night, he wouldn't call his own experts to the stand. Defense attorney Mark Richards agreed to that deal. Okay, so I don't know how well that's going to go, but it's just another nail in the coffin. Binger asked Schroeder to bar a video that shows police telling Rittenhouse and other armed militia on the streets that they appreciated their presence and tossing Rittenhouse a bottle of water, which is very stupid. Because if they want, they can't get rid of that because that, once again, proves that the police believe he was doing the right thing. So that also would make the SJRs very angry. So continuing on. The prosecutor said the video would transform the trial into a referendum on police procedure that night when it wasn't relevant. This is a case about what the defendant did that night, Binger said. I'm concerned this will turn into a trial about what law enforcement did or did not do or didn't do that night.
They didn't do a lot.
No, they didn't. Defense attorney Corey argued the video shows that police believed Rittenhouse wasn't acting recklessly, which he wasn't. Binger countered that the shootings happened after Rittenhouse interacted with the police, but the judge is going to allow the video. Good. If the jury is being told if the defendant is walking down the sidewalk and doing what he claims he was hired to do, and police say, "Good thing you're here," is that something influencing the defendant and emboldening his behavior? That would be an argument for relevance, the judge said. Now, yeah, continuing on, I kind of had 2 more just in case we were missing something. But yeah, like alleged victim is cousin to it, so they can't say alleged victim either. And yeah, this one, pretty much. But now let's take a look and see what people of Twitter think.
Oh, God.
From Andy No! If Kyle Rittenhouse walks, the U.S. is gonna effing burn down. Absolutely no one is gonna take this shit. It'll be last summer all over again, if not worse.
Yeah, I think it'll kind of be that way, except the fact that people will stand up and absolutely destroy these people now.
Oh yeah, I believe if they tried it this time, they're all gonna get shot. And then there's this one. I hope someone shoots him coming out of court.
We'll need to see if she actually got kicked off.
She should be. She should have been kicked off. Because, once again, you're calling for violence. Now, here's the next one. This, as you can see here, if you think Alec Baldwin is a murderer but think Kyle Rittenhouse is a patriot, then you need to reevaluate your priorities. I love this. True, Alec committed manslaughter and Kyle self-defense. Good catch. Yes. Alec Baldwin, which it comes out now that, yes, there were actual bullets, actual real bullets, and blanks in the same place there, in the hole in the set.
Really?
Yeah, no, apparently they were shooting it for fun. That actually came out that, yes, they were shooting it for fun. And that's actual manslaughter. So, once again, continuing on. But now let's see what they're talking about. There was a school shooting recently. And once again, if we remember, yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse had like a $2 million bond, if I remember. Yeah, he had a $2 million bond. But now, what about that one thing where the kid who was, quote-unquote, bullied, which more evidence comes out, no, he really wasn't, not that bad at least.
And once again, you can't just go to school and shoot people because you were bullied. The Columbine kids were bullied.
Yeah, But no, that Arlington school shooter parties at home with family after being freed on a $75,000 bond while his victims remain in the hospital. Gunman 18 walks free one day after shooting 15-year-old bully. He's 18, bully is 15, 7 times, and a teacher who broke up the brawl. $75,000 bail. Kyle Rittenhouse, $2 million. But we've got more things going on between the left and the right. Remember Chauvin? Technically, Chauvin could face up to 40 years in prison for second-degree murder and up to 25 years for third-degree murder and up to 10 years for manslaughter, despite the fact that we all know Derek actually died because of a fentanyl overdose. But no. So there's that. But then there's the black cop who shot a 911 caller, former Minneapolis police officer who fatally shot an unarmed woman after she called 911 to report a possible rapa behind her home, has been sentenced to nearly 5 years. So he shot her. He was supposed to get only 12 and a half. He actually killed this woman, but he's only going to get 5. That's absolutely insane. Absolutely mad. Now let's talk about another one, because we all know the stuff about people being pulled from their cars during the BLM riots, and if you dare run over any of them protesters,
Rioters.
then you need to go to prison forever. Well, woman injured after man drives into anti-vaccination mandate protest. A man was alleged to argue with protesters, got into his vehicle, and rammed it into the group on the sidewalk. He is now on a $50,000 bond.
This is just mad seeing just like, oh God, the evil of right-wing people. What about all the stuff that happened during the BLM riots, the billions of dollars in damages? What about Chaz?
Oh, well, that's nothing. That's nothing at all. Forget about that. But yeah, once again, you don't hear much about that guy who ran into a crowd of protesters this time. No. You didn't hear much. The whole thing was, what about the school shooting? Oh, it's a black kid. Everyone shuts up. But now they want harm on Rittenhouse, and they want Alec Baldwin to be set free, despite the fact that Rittenhouse shot at people who were attacking him. One hit him in the head with a skateboard. One was pulling a gun to shoot him and literally said, "My only regret is not killing Kyle Rittenhouse." You cannot deal with these people in a sensible fashion. And now you've got them going, well, if you don't want the vaccine, then you should then you should be isolated and deal with how getting food your own way.
Okay, what about all like the 30% of truckers that are saying, no, we're not going to do this anymore? What about all the farmers? What about the fact that a good portion of America is red and we have all the guns?
See, that's the thing. They're so stuck in their stupid little world that they have to believe this is real. They cannot imagine that their way of society is wrong. Even when, like once again, with the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff, papers had to come out and actually show video and pictures showing that, yeah, actually Rittenhouse was kind of in the right. We don't like to say it, which is why they dropped it. Which is why they stopped talking about it.
Also, didn't Barnes is representing Rittenhouse.
Yes, he is.
Didn't he also threaten to just destroy these news groups?
I think so. I don't know. I'm not going to say he did, but I bet he would. And so people just, it's maddening. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, the fact that our psychiatrist actually thinks we're sane compared to these people.
That's the scary thing. But yes, so there's all of this. I cannot wait to see what happens with the Rittenhouse case, because now comes the jury selection. And the big thing about it is, here's the whole thing. Rittenhouse gets off, yes, there will be violence. But at the same time, it ain't going to be like with Chauvin. Because I cannot imagine people sitting down, because this was okay, they did such a hard thing trying to get, it's actually good that the Chauvin case happened before Rittenhouse.
Why?
Because they now see what they will do to get that conviction. And like Barnes and all them, they're specifically fighting back on those specific things.
It is true. You saw what happened and you learned from the last time.
But yeah, it is going to be, there will be violence. The thing is though, it's an 18-year-old kid this time who was attacked by pedos arsonists, looters, rioters, and felons. I don't feel bad about any of them getting what they deserved. So, we can only hope that actual justice comes, and if there is violence,
Which, come on, there will be.
that the violent, rioting, social justice retards get what's coming to them if they bring violence out. Anywho, that's gonna be the end of this little video. If you like this video, then shake the like button and subscribe for more.
ENSane.
And I will see you all later. Bye, everyone.
Crazy.